Good evening, everyone. I hope this message finds you well. We are Shade with Crusades of the 40K. It is actually Warhammer 40,000's narrative form of the game. Now, I know a lot of people like competitive. I know a lot of people find a lot of fun in match play, but if you've ever been playing a match play game and you got to the end of it and you were like, you know, I really wish that everything that happened in this game mattered. I wish this awesome game I had and this story I got, I could move on to the next game. Well, then, we're the ones for you. The narrative end of 40K this year is, or rather this edition, is a lot different than what it has been normally. And I'm really excited to have the narrative play on here. Now, mainly, what do? Is you just build an army with 50 PL and you use 5 requisition points to buy a variety of things. Now, I hear people saying, but wait, what do we use the requisition points for? Well, let's go ahead and take a look right out of the book, and I'll tell you exactly what we use requisition points for. We use them for things like increasing the spy limit, so you can go from 50 to 55 to 60 and so on. You can give yourself a warlord trait. You can give yourself a relic. You can also do a specialist reinforcement like Scar Boys. Now, there are a lot of little nifty things you can do in a Crusade army and a lot of cool ways you can build it up. You can also run multiple different armies out of it. So if you're someone like me who likes running a couple different armies, you can run like all Imperial under one Crusade force, and it's a lot of fun to watch all of your different armies grow at one time. The other thing that you have is you have the ability to constantly change and fluctuate with your armies. It doesn't cost you anything to add or remove units. Now, when you join the server, we will have this area right here you're looking at now called roles. Now, right here, this top role, this is going to give you your Crusader or your Honored Guest role. Crusader means you're here to play the game. You want to get in, you want to fight, and you want to look for a game. Honored guest means you're just here to hang out, and we're happy to have you. We have a bunch of honored guests, and some of my best friends in the server are honored guests, and some of our best admins are actually honored guests. So either way, I don't care what brings you to the server, whether you're just here to talk more about 40K or you're just here to join us and have fun with the Crusades. We're welcome to have you. And let's jump into that with the Crusades that we have. Right here under looking for game roles, you're going to find all of the Crusades that we have available for you, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one. The looking for game Crusade is just that. It's looking for game. It's nothing that complicated. You're just here to drop in and play a game real quick. You don't want to worry about any server rules. You don't want to worry about anything special. You got your 50 PL list. You know how many battles you played. You know what your Crusade level is, and you're going to run with it from there. Alright, now next up is Active Crusade. And I'm going to go through these when I say next up at the level of involvement they have with the server. So looking for games are dropping. It's casual as can be. And our server in general is casual at all costs. So if you're coming in with the mentality of you got to win every single game, or you're coming in and your list is winning 5, 10, 15 games in a row, you're probably not in the right server, man. We're here to build a solid narrative story for your army and the army you're playing against, and so it's really key to have fun. It's really key to be able to move through the game and give an inch, give a mile. The next level of Crusades we have though is going to be your looking for game active Crusades. Now, looking for game active Crusades are a little bit different. What they're going to end up doing is you're going to go up to a part of the server that's called Active Crusade, and this is ran currently by a guy named Beastly, who's a wonderful admin of ours. And what he does is he writes a little story for you guys, and there will be the attacker's side and the defender's side. And so by playing on the one side throughout the whole time, you're able to build yourself a story in his little area. And it's just as easy to get in as a drop-in game. You just put an at. You just got to worry about what planet you're on and what type of things there is there. And you got to make sure that if you're attacker, you stay attacker, and if you're defender, you stay defender if you want. If you want to bounce back and forth, that works too. Like I said, we're a casual server. We really don't care either way. Next up, we have our homebrew. So we do have a homebrew section of the server. The main part of the homebrew section of the server we're looking for is to not create like units or like singular armies that are great. You know, we do add the cops. I think the cops are a great army, and we do add a lot of armies like that. But the main point of the homebrew is to like make an effective story and have some fun missions there, while allowing you to play around with some things that are there. I know I use homebrew for running like my lore armies that I can't run otherwise, and a lot of times I run them a little weaker than they are in their lore because, you know, it's 40k. But you know, that's the next one to go with. Moving up from that would be our Lost Crusade down here. Now, Lost Crusade, you just have to have a custom chapter, and you just have to go ahead and throw up a game that you're looking for. Once you have your list and your custom chapter approved, and if you do a little bit of lore, you get some bonus RP. You're able to start running your games. You're able to start playing them. And you're able to start expanding your unknown chapter. And everyone you're going to be playing there is going to be other chapters and other groups and other Imperial Guard regiments that aren't the ones that are always talked about. So it's going to be a really cool space to build lore and to build yourself something special, build yourself something you want. And that's really what the server's for, is building yourself that special army you want to. Then we also have Solar Crusade. And for Solar Crusade, it's currently on hiatus. You know, we're going to bring it back, so go ahead and jump in, build up your list, go ahead and play a couple of games. You know, I still look for games for Solar Crusade, but we're not scoring for it right now. We're just playing in the systems and having fun and scoring a bunch of RP and having an expanse there. But for Solar Crusade, we'll definitely go into it more later as we revive it and as we talk to people about it. But it's still up, and it's still running in a kind of a gimped form. There's no score. It's it became whose line is it anyways, you know. The points are made up and the score doesn't matter. Then we have Beyond the Veil. Beyond the Veil is ran by Sequoia, and it is just running the Beyond the Veil campaign that was made by Games Workshop. It's a great game, and I suggest if you haven't played it, jumping in and running through that. He has it set up so you can play through each mission. And then finally we have Ranked. Ranked is for when you want to play win at all costs. It's for when you want to be against the norm and you want to sit there and you want to go against what most of us run. But every now and then you can get a game. It's pretty quiet in that area because we are, like I said, a casual at all cost server for the main part. But it is a fun spot to like test out your army and see how good it is. Now, there is one game that is not mentioned here, and it is a server game that I'm kind of interested in. I enjoyed it. I made it. And so I am a little proud of my baby on this one. But if you've ever been playing 40k and you're like, man, this game isn't complicated enough, then we have Grand Game. And what Grand Game is it's basically a mix of like Civilization and 40k, where you're building bases on a large hex map, you're moving units through it, and as you guys meet, you play the fights there. So there can be uneven PL fights, and that's a lot of interesting fun. So yeah, and you know, like everyone who plays a game on this server, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone who takes the time to join us, and I appreciate everyone who's taken the time to watch this video and get to the point where I'm talking about it. If you do jump in, like I said, just head to this roles section right here. Go ahead and select either Crusader or Honored Guest on the top. You can go ahead and select what factions you like. As you select what factions you like, what's end up happening is you're going to open those chats for yourself. We have a board game section, and we have a bunch of other things you'll experience as you explore the server. So this has been Shade, you know, explaining what Crusades of 40k is about, as well as just giving you a quick rundown of everything that we do here. Thank you for listening, and have a great time, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe below, help support us on Patreon, and of course, have a wonderful